It's round 2 of the Trieste Open, and we're facing a 2200 Iranian player. Now I tried to do some prep. He plays like 5 different openings, so it's quite difficult. I did a quick review, and he played a 6th opening, which he's never played before, and he opened with the Petrov, which I was not that pleased to see. Now, the Petrov is super solid. The point is you just keep it symmetrical and you try and make it like an easy draw. And at top level play, like some really strong players use it, Nepomniachtchi, Riangi, to kind of just neutralize the white advantage. I had done a little bit of revision on how to play this, and I plan to play this like d4. So the main move is knight takes e5, but there's also this d4 move. And now my opponent plays knight takes e4, bishop d3, and usually what happens next is d5, knight takes e5, and then you try and get a small advantage because you're that one move ahead. But it's pretty difficult. Like if he plays really well, it's pretty difficult. Now, he played a really sexy move here, which is that he ignores me attacking the knight, and he just played knight c6. I've seen this idea before, and the point is if I take, he's actually already fine, because he goes d5, only square for the bishop is back here, and he goes e4. And yeah, he's just equalized already. He's going to take one of these pieces because of the fork, and he's completely fine. So I knew the point of this move. I knew it was a legit move, but I forgot what I was supposed to play, which wasn't great. But I handled it pretty well, kind of like in a semi-improv state. I grabbed e5. He played d5, which is logical, but maybe he should try knight c5, kind of hitting the bishop. I was thinking I would move my bishop to try and keep it, but then after d6, I think this is a slightly improved version of the game. In the game, he played d5 immediately, and now I don't want his big knight on e4, so I take, and he captures back with the knight. So like the pawn structure is completely symmetrical, but I'm kind of one move ahead. We both developed 2 pieces, but it's my move, and this bishop is dominating this knight. So I felt like I should have a small edge here. And there's a couple ways to play this. I was thinking about castles, but what I wanted was to really create some imbalance. I really wanted to go for the win. So I played knight c3, which is also a good move here. And it keeps the option open of castling queenside at some moment. And probably here he should develop quickly with bishop e7. And after that, I can play bishop f4 and try and claim a slight edge because my pieces are just very slightly better placed. He played bishop g4. And this pin is very annoying. So I need to think about how do I deal with this pin. And I realized here that if I play h3, actually, it's kind of annoying for him to deal with because it forces him to decide, do I take and give up the pin, or do I go back? But then after he goes back and we include h3, bishop h5, I always have the option of g4 at any moment. Now, taking actually, I think looked pretty good for me because after check, block with the bishop, he can get the bishop back, the bishop pair back. But a position like this, I've still got the lead in development. The position is very similar, but the difference in these bishops is huge. Like these will probably get exchanged at some point. But my pieces are just better. So he didn't go for this. He went for bishop h5. And now I develop my bishop. I'm thinking about castling queenside at some point. Potentially, I could have even castled kingside and claimed an edge and played g4, but it looks a little bit risky. Like maybe not risky, but it weakens my king. And now I expected bishop e7 and try and play queen e2, castle queenside, and see how the game goes. He played knight e5, which I had seen, but I thought wasn't an issue because I had planned bishop to e2. And after things get traded off, again, this looks like a slightly better position, where my pieces are just very, very slightly better placed. Like the computer says queen f6, but then I'll happily grind out this endgame against these weak doubled and isolated pawns. So I almost played bishop e2 quickly, but then it hit me that I have another option here, which I originally dismissed, which is to play g4. And after a bit of calculation, 6 minutes, I think it was good investment. I realized g4 is super strong. Now he has to take, because otherwise I'm going to take his knight, and he should definitely take the bishop because of the bishop pair, and bishop g6. And originally I dismissed this line because I give up the bishop pair, and this bishop looks really good. But what I realized is that in this position, after I just retreat the queen here and eye up his king, it's actually really awkward for him to deal with. Because next move, I'm just going to castle queenside. So he blocks with bishop e7. Computer says queen d7 is an option, but here, like minimum, I can grab this pawn. And do I come back? I guess I've got knight e5 first, get the bishop pair and come back. So this would have been like a pretty clear pawn up. He doesn't really have much compensation at all. So he played a natural move, bishop e7. Castle queenside, and castle queenside in these lines is really nice because compared to castling kingside, my rook is in the game already. If I castle kingside, the rook gets on f1. So this is like a really great tempo move. So I've handled the opening super well here, and I've got a really nice edge. And I knew it. Like I knew I had a great position. He huffed and puffed, and he came out with queen d7. And here I was thinking, so it's tricky for him because basically he doesn't really want to castle kingside because I start coming at him with h4. But maybe he should do this. In the game I was looking at h4, and then he can play f6 to give himself a square here. And even though my attack looks menacing, I don't think it's super easy to sort of break through. Like his bishop is really good. And it's a question of how do I push this. I can go h6, and then he keeps it close with g6. And then maybe I stick the queen on f3 with a nice position. But there's no checkmate here. So this would be an option for him to play. And I wasn't expecting queen d7, actually. I was worried he was going to castle kingside. And I just thought queen d7 can't be good because like I always have this knight e5 jump. And I'm thinking, okay, he doesn't want to castle kingside. He's obviously trying to castle queenside. So how do I manage this? Now, if he castles queenside, I've got bishop takes a7 ideas, but potentially he can play b6. I guess he can't play b6 because queen a6 is mate. So I played what I thought was a natural move here. I played knight d5 after, what's that, a 5-minute thing, which loses a lot of my advantage. And what I had calculated is in the game after castles, I thought I'd take this pawn and I'm just happy, and I just ended the line there. But it turns out, as in the game, it's not as simple as that. Now, what I should have played, and I tell this to you guys all the time, I need to listen to my own advice, is I should activate my worst piece. My worst piece here is this rook. Just bring the rook in, and this version is crushing. After castles, knight e5, queen e6. I've already got this crazy move, knight c6. Crazy sacrifice. Point being takes and check with a big attack. Probably, practically, I wouldn't play that. Like, I've got a nice edge. I'd probably play bishop f4, and I'm gonna win a pawn at some point because all of my pieces are playing. Like my rooks are great. All of my pieces are here, and he's just on the back foot. So sample line. If he tries to develop the bishop, I can attack this with queen e3. Takes, and I just take. And he ends up with this terrible ending where I'm gonna win a pawn. Maybe not rook here immediately because rook d7, but knight b5, and I'm just gonna win this endgame. And I really should have played like this. I think I played a little too fast here. Like I've been pushing myself to play faster. But this was a moment where, yeah, I mean 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I don't know if it's a speed thing or I'm just dumb. Like I really should just activate the worst piece. I don't even need to calculate that much, right? I was trying to see like concrete things with attacking this bishop, but there's no need. All right, back to the game. So I played knight d5 castles, and I thought that's a free pawn. He plays rook e8, and now all of a sudden I realize that free pawn has cost me quite a bit of tempo, and suddenly his rooks are ready. And it's not easy for me to play this position. One of the reasons knight d5 is not great is I've lost control of this a4 square. His queen's coming out. So I was thinking, first of all, he's threatening bishop d5 check. Discovered attack on the queen. So I was thinking, okay, what if I do king b1? And now he just gets the bishop out of the way. And he just starts coming at me with all his pieces. Queen b5. Apparently, I'm already losing. And the sort of killer thing is at some moment, this knight is coming to c4. This bishop's come to e4. This pawn was not worth it. And I realized in this position, like, what is going on? Why is it so hard? And I was very stubborn. I was still trying to find a win because I knew I was winning earlier. And then I was looking at moves like, why is he checkmating me? Why am I not checkmating him? So I thought to myself, I need to get the queen into attack. So how about queen e3? And now swing the queen. The problem is my queen's not attacking, right? But then after move bishop e4, this is the super annoying move. Queen c3. He can always just play queen c6. And he neutralizes this, and this pin is just killer. Like I have no way of dealing with this pin without my light square bishop. So yeah. So here, after a very long think, I realized I kind of screwed it up, and I found the best move here. I played bishop back to e3 to keep the position together. Yeah, this is very important to put the bishop here. This guy is like my Maldini. He just holds the whole position together, blocking this discovered attack. Okay, he played a good move here, bishop f8, getting out of the way of the rook. The good thing is the bishop's not super active here. So I figure if I can consolidate, I should be okay. And now bishop e4 is super annoying. Maybe I can play rook e1, but I just jumped back with the knight to stop any of this bishop e4 stuff. I've got the extra pawn, so he has to sort of prove compensation. If he doesn't do anything big and I consolidate, I'm kind of okay. And again, he played the best move here, and he's trying to play with f5. Taking him, I think, is pretty bad because in the game, I thought he could take like this, but computer says no because of rook swing, rook d5, takes rook a5. Is this so good? Bishop a7, bishop e3. Dumbass computer, that doesn't help you. Okay, knight e5 is the killer move, I think. Knight's coming in. But yeah, it's this knight c6 check again. Oh, that's pretty. Knight c6 check to get my queen into the attack. Okay, so I was thinking about takes, but then I realized I thought bishop takes wasn't play. I hadn't seen that beautiful attacking line there. But I also realized you can play bishop h5 here. And again, this pin is like, it's like an eternal pin. It's so annoying. Like my knight's just, yeah, my knight has to call that bishop daddy, and just needs to listen to him for the rest of the game. Like, it's so awkward to get out the pin. So here I found a nice move. I played rook to d4, and it's a rook swing, defending the pawn, and also some ideas to come over here. And this way I get my other rook to the d file. And the computer finds an amazing draw here, which we both completely miss. Really difficult to find. Because rook d4 is stopping f4 as well. f4 is a threat to sort of win the bishop because of this pin. But it turns out he can play f4 anyway. And my rook gets trapped. He can't win the rook, but he just keeps on chasing me. He jumps in knight e4. I've got to take, and then the rook's really awkward. I need to bring in my last piece. Takes, and now this is super weird. But he just keeps chasing my rook like this, and he's controlling all these squares. And then I can only go to these two squares. I can't take the pawn because I've got to stay on the f file to defend the knight. So now I play rook f5, he goes bishop e4, and it's a fourth repetition like this, even though I'm, what am I? I'm 2 pawns up, but I can't, like, I can't grab this pawn. If I give up the knight, I'm gonna lose. Yeah, so f4 would have been a great drawing mechanic here. He played queen c6, which is very understandable if you don't see f4, like improving the queen. And I finally brought my last piece into the game. Definitely the best move. Like, that rook was sleeping. And now he takes. He was pretty low on time here. He had 1 minute. So I was feeling pretty good about myself. I had 26 minutes because I've been pushing myself to play a bit faster. And I knew the position's quite good. He plays h6, but now in this position, I had 26 minutes and I kind of wasted it. I did not find the kill switch. I need to do more calculation exercises. I had the right idea, which is to swing the rook, threatening nastiness down here. You can defend with b6 or king b8. He chose king b8. And now my tactics brain just turned off. I don't know if it was because it was the morning round and I slept really badly last night. I only got like 4 hours sleep. I was too excited. But I've got all sorts of tactics now because of this bishop a7 check. So the winning move here is knight e5. And it's a killer fork. He has to take me, but then I just win material like this. Yeah, and that's going to be game over with the exchange and the pawn. But yeah, my tactics brain was off. Completely off here again, because again here I had knight e6, similar idea. I played knight b3, which still keeps the advantage, but obviously misses the win. Now, yeah, I knew I had a good position here, but I just thought, why is this so difficult? Like, I was thinking I go into this endgame, but I realized this endgame's not easy to win at all. Like, the 1 pawn for his 2 bishops, and there's not that many pawns left. Like, when you trying to win an endgame, like, you want to keep pawns, because if there's not enough pawns, at the end they might just like trade off all the pawns, sacrifice a piece for the pawn, and you can't checkmate with a bishop or a knight. So yeah, I knew this was not a good decision. Actually, what I wanted to play, so knight e6 tactically would have been great. What I wanted to play was knight f3. And I was torn between knight f3 and knight b3, and I thought I'm going to come and checkmate him. Because I didn't see a move for him here, but he found a fantastic defensive move here. Because my knight's thinking of coming into c5. He just drops back knight c8, and It defends everything. Gets out of the way of the bishop. And I'm kind of losing my advantage a little bit. And I made the right call here, which is I realized I'm getting nowhere with the attack. So I switched back to playing into the center with my rook. He took, I took, and now he gets the bishop out. He's got a couple options. All of them I still have the edge because of the extra pawn. And now I play queen c4. Now I'm down to 2 minutes. I've lost my extra time, which is a bit annoying. I really should be finishing the game here. And I completely, like I said, my tactics brain was completely off. And I completely missed his next move. The lucky thing is I'm still winning. But yeah, I guess by principle I knew that I should be fine because I'm attacking, like my pieces are on good squares. So I get a free pass. I played rook takes e3 and I was very shaken. Because the point is, if I take, suddenly he's checkmating me. He takes the knight and I have to defend checkmate. I can't take the piece, and now I'm a piece down. But I was attacking the bishop, so I take the bishop, and now he needs to retreat and sort of defend. But he greedily took the pawn. He didn't have any time left, and I don't know if I can say my tactics brain was back on because this wasn't super complex. But I found knight d5, and it's just a big fork. Because the other thing is, like, when he moves, like I've got, other than this fork, when this knight moves, it's like a really nasty discover check. So he defends. I could have gone on knight c6 check here as well, but I don't really need to. I just take the exchange, and now I'm winning. But I need to be precise and increment. I checked in g5 here because I didn't like the idea of giving him connected pass pawn just in case. And now I kind of time down to c7. My technique was pretty good here, and here I need to give myself a bit of air. There's multiple ways to get air. Here the best way is he's got a light square bishop, which means he might be able to check me on a2. So the best way is put the pawns on the light squares, and it dulls his bishop, and the king on a dark square is super safe. Although in this particular situation, the other ones are still winning as well. He went down to 9 seconds and played b6. I just got to keep the pressure on here and bring my rook in now that I have luff with the king. And then he goes bishop e4, which I saw, and I just drop back, and it's a deadly pin. Like everything's dropping. This is coming. This is coming. He actually lost on time here, trying to find a move. The game recording has queen f5. I think he played queen f5 and hit the clock with 0 seconds. I kind of realized he was going to get flagged on when he hit 0 seconds. But yeah, it's just completely lost whatever he plays. Yeah, Petrov. I think I handled the opening pretty well. I found g4, but I messed up my advantage with this knight d5 move. I did manage to recover pretty well by holding it together and not blundering. And even though I missed some tactics, I need to have my tactics brain on for this rest of the tournament with knight e6 and whatnot. I still maintained the advantage and managed to win a relatively smooth game. Like I was always better in this game. So yeah, we're on 2 out of 2, and I'll see you in the next one.